Hi, everybody. How are you? How are you? How are you? I'm just going to share this really quick with my group and then I'm going to get started. That group is called Unleash Your Inner Unicorn if you want to join. I'm going to be doing some cool stuff in that group. I need to have some plans. I need to get going with them, but I have some plans, so that's good, right? Okay, so I'm just sharing this. But today we are going to be talking about money, how to find money, like actual ways to find money in your life that you can use to invest in your business or whatever it is that you're wanting. So yeah, hopefully it's super helpful. I remember, when I was first thinking of investing, I did get a list like this from somebody, and it really helped me to think outside the box. So, of course, I get a phone call. Okay, I'm like so close to sharing this in the group, which is what I wanted, and then I gotta go. I'll grab that. Hold on one sec. Okay, cool. All right, sorry about that, but all right, so here we are. Let's get going. Okay, so I'm getting faster. It says I've been on for 90 seconds. It used to take me 2 minutes to get all that done, so that's good. So the first thing I wanted to do while we still wait for people to get on live is I was going to pull a card from my unicorn deck to see what the unicorns have to say about what we should keep in mind in terms of attracting money or getting money, finding money in our life. Okay? So I'm just shuffling these and set the intention of that question. Okay. So I pulled a card. Okay, I think this is super interesting. So the card that I got says to try something new. I just love the picture on this one. It's a orca and a unicorn. So the unicorn's trying something new, swimming in the waves. Who knew horses could swim, right? Or unicorns, I should say. So try something new. Let me just read the book to see how we can apply this to our abundance, our money situations, all of that. All right, so think about something that you've always wanted to do and then take the steps to learn about it and do it. And so, I was thinking when I put this presentation together that we would be talking about money, finding money, especially in terms of investing in a business. So I think if any of you are thinking about starting a business, chances are it's a new venture for you and it's something you haven't ever really done before, and that's awesome. So I think this is a big sign to try something new and to go for it if that new thing is having your own business. So great way to start off the broadcast. All right. So let me get into the topic. So on Tuesday, if you want to go check it out, on Tuesday I talked about the mindset around money. If you feel like money is always an excuse that you have for why you're not doing something that you say you want to do. So I'm not going to get into that kind of mindset side of things on this one, but I am going to talk more about, once you finally decided, yes, I want to do this, I realize, I want to find a way to have the money for this thing, I'm totally on board, then there's the actual act of having to find the money for something, right? So, in that broadcast, I talked a lot about how, we often don't have the money just sitting in our bank account readily accessible for big things that we want. So there is a certain act or a certain thing you need to do to like find the money. So that's what I'm talking about today. I have a link. I'm not going to go through the list. I feel like that would be boring to just say the list of ideas. So I have my blog post linked in the description of this video, where I listed 17 ways that you can find money for something that you want. So, there's a lot of things on there. Some are bigger ticket than others, I think. Like, you could take money out of your retirement account if you already had one, or take a loan out of your retirement, which is like basically no interest. I don't know if you ever looked into that, but that's something that I personally did. So, so there's that. And there's things like getting a new credit card, 0 interest credit card, asking for a personal loan from somebody you know, getting a personal loan. I've done that. I don't have anybody in my life that I could ask to just give me money. If you do, that's awesome. I didn't. So, there's things like selling stuff that you have. Like, one of the big things that, when we, kind of a weird story, but when we were leaving, we had a call, close to my last day at the company I was at. And, it was about like offboarding and all this stuff. And, somebody was like, do we get to keep our phones, right? Because they would give us phones. And they were like, oh yeah, like you can keep your device, you keep the device, whatever line is deactivated, move it over to a new line, whatever. And this one lady was like, what am I supposed to do with this phone? I don't want that, kind of. And I was just thinking, holy shit, lady, like, do you not realize that you can always sell phones for like a couple $100s easy? So anyway, that's a little digression, but I had to message her and tell her that, because the reason I'm bringing all this up is because one of the ideas on the list is to sell stuff that you have on eBay, which I've personally done. And, that's not going to be like, well, it depends on what it is, right? But it's not going to be probably like thousands of dollars or anything like that. But I mean, I've sold phones for sure. If you have an old phone, like I even sold like a really old, it was like 3 or 4 generations old iPhone at the time. And hi, Melissa, yay, familiar face. Melissa is an awesome relationships expert. She has a great concept called Gumball Love. You should Google it. Anyway, phones are great. If you have any phones laying around, you'd be surprised. Like, it could be like a year or 2 old. I actually have one in my drawer that I need to check on. But if you have an old phone laying around, those sell super easy in my experience. Even like clothes, if you have like nice designer jeans, for example, those are, a good $50 potentially. I've sold, like, I have those Spirit hoods. I sold one of those because I was like, I don't need 2 of these, stuff like that. So, sell anything you have that you're not using, and you'd be surprised. You would be surprised. So you can definitely easily cover a lot of basic startup costs for a business just by selling a few things. So that's one thing. I got on a tangent with that. But so there's a list on the blog. If you want to click on the post, go ahead and do that to get the whole list. But the main part I really wanted to cover, rather than just read through that list, is it's sort of another mindset piece, I guess. So I kind of lied earlier. But what I want you to really do is, so you've done Summit Reflection, and let's just use the example of, you want to start a business and you want to invest in a coach or something, some kind of service based, some kind of person to help you, support you in the getting started process, right? Which is like what I did, right? I told you guys last broadcast that I invested $7,000 in my first program I ever did last year. And that was a big deal for me. And it took me, a few days or whatever. I've been following her for a while, so that helped. But it took a few days for me to get to the point where I was like, wow, it scares the crap out of me, but I know that I need to do this, and I know I need to make this happen. Okay, so let's assume you've already gotten to that point, right? So then there's actually finding the money, and this is another aspect of mindset where you need to expand your mind, okay, in terms of where money is, okay? So money is not just the balance in your bank account at this moment, okay? It's not. It's just not. And if you are stuck on thinking that, then it's hard to grow. Okay. So that's why the list includes things like getting a new credit card or something like that, which I also did. So I've told you everything I've done. I got a personal loan. I got a loan against my own 401k. I got a credit card. Now, I do want to say that I'm not a financial expert and it's totally your own choice. But my point in bringing up what I personally did is because I just want to say that I had to expand my mind because in my personal case, a lot of the options on that list weren't really an option for me, but that option to take on a little bit of debt was, right? So that's what I had to do. And so my invitation to you is to just have an open mind and, okay, I'm ready to make the investment. I don't have any money in my bank account. Okay, well, can you ask a parent for a loan or something? I'm not saying that you're going to want to do, can you get a credit card? Like, I'm not saying you're going to be fucking jazzed through the roof that you have to do some of those things or that you have to take on debt, right? Because in our society, we treat debt as a very negative thing in general. But I just want to invite you to open your mind to all the sources of money that are available to you, and that was my point in publishing that list. And yeah, I mean, you just have to do what you have to do. It might not be comfortable. Right? If I had, taking a loan from a family member, that wouldn't have been comfortable for me either. Taking on some kind of debt would not be comfortable for me. That it wasn't so comfortable for me to do, but it was I did what I had to do, right? Because I could see that I wanted to do this thing. I didn't have the money sitting in my bank account. No one ever does. Remember that. And so I had to look for other ways to make it happen, right? So that was my point in this broadcast and in this list I made and everything like that, was that if you really want to do something, you can find a way. And there's a lot of different ways to find money, and it doesn't have to be money that you have in your possession, because if you do that, I could see if I just relied on the money I had in my physical possession, in this case, I would just stay in the same cycle, right? Because I never had that much extra. I'd just be in the same cycle and I would never have broken out, okay? So, and it really was eye-opening to me with my own coach currently, shared that, and her business makes $6 or $7 million a year now, and she shared that she doesn't worry about money anymore, and that doesn't mean that she always has money for everything. Every time she wants to grow or expand, she doesn't have the money she needs to do that. But she doesn't worry about money anymore because she's so confident in her own ability to make the money she needs whenever she decides to make a jump, right? So again, that's another invitation to you. Yes, you don't have the money. You want to do this thing. But it's what's on the other side for you if you do the thing? Your whole life could change. My whole life has changed, right? So it didn't necessarily happen at the same timeline that I thought it might in my head, but I did eventually quit my job within only a year and a half of really making that investment, which is what I wanted. I wanted to quit my job. And it happened in the most amazing way possible that I never would have been open to if it hadn't been for all the mindset work I did in that program and yada yada. So, hi, Carolina. I think you're still on, or maybe it's Melissa. We'll see. Let me know if you have any questions, or send me some hearts or likes or something if you're getting this. But my point in this broadcast is to really expand your mind in terms of all the actual sources of money that are available to you. If you have something really big that you want to do in your life, and thank you for the hearts. If you have something really big that you want to do in your life, then it's up to you to find a way to make it happen, and it's your decision if you want to use the amount you actually have in your bank account as the thing you use to make decisions, or do you want to follow your heart, right? Oh yeah, I saw you at the book expo, Melissa, on Snapchat. I was just catching up while I did my hair on my snaps. So I'll just go through a few of the ways in the list. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'll just do it really quick. And again, the list is the blog is linked in the description of this post. So, there's getting a credit card, increasing your credit line on a card you already have, which is shockingly easy if you've never done it. And it actually, in and of itself, if you don't, it does in a way help your credit because it increases your amount that you can borrow, I guess. So you can increase your credit line sometimes just doing it online. You can sell items on eBay, take your clothes to consignment shop, borrow money, collect money from someone that owes you, take a loan from your retirement, drive Lyft or Uber on the side. I personally have tried this as well, and I will say that I didn't find it to be worth it unless you already have a car. I don't have a car. I have like a two-door car. But anyway, so that's an option. If you already have a car, I mean, it could be kind of decent. So, or even if you're buying a car, but it's like a couple hundred a month, it would be worth it. Get a part-time job, offer VA services on the side, which is something that a lot of people need online. So you can still be working with awesome people online if you're already wanting to have an online business and learning a little bit while offering like basic services. You could sell stocks that you have, which, I do not have stocks right now, but if you have them, that's an option. Reduce your living expenses somehow. Like, this was way before I even thought about having a business, but I actually before I moved when I moved to this apartment, it was $400 less than the apartment I was in. And, it's super homey now. I've been here for 5 years, but it's like, I remember when I did that move that it like changed my life overnight to have that extra $400. So I don't know where you live, if that's even a possibility, but that's something people do. And just remember, like, all this stuff is temporary. You could sell a workshop of some kind. You could do a GoFundMe campaign, which is like a way for people to just donate money to you for whatever reason. It doesn't have to be a charity. That website's good. Take on more hours at a current job that you have. Okay, cool. All right, I think that's pretty much it. So thank you, Melissa. I just saw your comment. I did my hair and makeup, you guys, because I have an extremely important date with my friend Crystal, and we're going to the ice cream museum in a few hours. So I wanted to get some cute pics there, so I had to be looking good. So that's all I wanted to share. Let me know if you have any questions. And you know what? If you want to get on the phone with me, I have a link in the description as well. So Carolina, if you're still on, or Melissa, I don't think you'll need it, right? But I appreciate the support. If you want to talk about how you can make more money in your business, you can book a call with me, and it's Make More Moolah. I called it that strategy session, but it's really the case. Like, half of those ideas I mentioned are things that have to do with you stepping into being an entrepreneur and offering your own services online. And that's something I can totally talk to you about, and I would love to talk to you about. So if that interests you, go ahead and click the link to book a free call, and we'll talk about how you can use your skills that you already have to start making money online and start making extra money. So that's all I wanted to share. Thank you so much for being on live, and I hope you have an amazing day, everybody. Bye.